Good morning, everyone. So happy Friday to start with, and thank God the week's come to an end. This video is number 2, which continues on the Company Directors Disqualification Act 1986, around directors wanting advice when the insolvency practitioner makes a claim against them. So the first one is always take professional advice and be represented as soon as possible. Once the company is placed into liquidation, there will be quite a few emails and forms that you'll be sent to fill them in. One of the most important one will be the letter which explains what CDDA is and the do's and don'ts of the director. And now that the company is in liquidation, you need to be very, very careful. You'll be asked to fill out some questionnaires, answer some emails. Some questions may differ from other IP, so all the insolvency practitioners that operate out there have the same level of forms and questioning. There'll be certain questions around when the directors first became aware that the company was insolvent, whether any payments made to creditors who could have been preferred over other creditors, were any of the company's assets sold under their quoted valuations, amongst many other questions around the company's financial position, and around who looked after the management of the company, and so on and so on. So if you're a sole director of the company, of course you'll be the one that's dealing with everything from a day-to-day basis on the company. You will also have an accountant or a bookkeeper or even an external consultant, but they're really not part of the company. With the best intentions, directors will respond to these inquiries from the liquidator or the insolvency service in the belief that because they're cooperating, then this will have the claim made dropped against them. This is not the case. So it's really, really important that you get help, advice to complete the director's questionnaire forms. And then from then onwards, any answers that you provide on that form will then be the basis of all the mitigating circumstances around that. There are so many other factors to consider around the books and records of the company, bank statements, any advice that you've previously taken. The liquidator will review and investigate so much around all the stuff that I've just mentioned in this video. So all of those answers then will be used to submit a report to the insolvency service by the liquidator. But don't be pressured. You know, the main thing is not to be pressurized in answering those questions quickly. If you need more time, ask for more time, and say that that you don't have access to the books and records now, so you're going to need some time, and or the circumstances were 6 months ago, so you can't remember everything. So, please, trap 2 is when directors reply to those questions, answering them in a very quick way, thinking, oh yes, I remember that, answering the question, sending it off, and then before you know it, you've answered something that then you can't take back. So watch out for the next video, which also talks more about Company Directors Disqualification Act and the claims that the insolvency practitioners make against directors.